Okay, guys, so this is my first review of Love After Lockup, Season 2, Episode something something. It'll be in the description. Not to worry, even though it's my first episode, I've watched all the series, so it should be fine. So, first, I want to start with the Bonnie and Clyde crackhead crew. Clint and Tracy. At least it's alleged that Clint is a crackhead. I have to say alleged. However, it's well documented on the show that Tracy is in fact a recovering cracky. So, yeah. In the episode, we basically see where Tracy has one more day to get off parole and start living her life like a normal human being. And so, for some weird reason, she figures, well, let me just go over and meet Clint's mommy. However, Clint's mommy is not so inclined to meet her. And I do understand, like, normally when you get married, you want to meet your parents, the parents of your spouse. Yeah, that's cool. However, this is not a normal marriage. If we recall, Clint went to pick up Tracy from the prison, like, say, on a Monday. And by a Tuesday, they were married. And there was no meeting the parents in the Monday night. So it was a very fucked up situation. And so anything that happens, it's a free-for-all. And Tracy, she doesn't really have much leg to stand on. And because that is the situation, I can see why Tracy, the mother, doesn't want to meet Tracy. And if we think about it, if her son is allegedly a crackhead, we can see why she wouldn't want another crackhead in her house. Because, first of all, I think Tracy sized up Clint's family, and she's pretty much well aware that they have bank. They're rolling in the dough. Because here's why I think that. Going back to early episodes, right? Clint's mommy gave him money and a credit card to go on a date with his prison bride. Clint is not 18 years old. I wouldn't even give an 18-year-old money. He can go get a little part-time job and, pay for his own box. Clint's like, what, 40? And his mommy has to give him a credit card? So she gave him a credit card to go take out his prison bride on a date and to marry said prison bride. And they also rented a car, right? So Tracy knows the family has money, right? So I think Tracy, she just wants to get in there so she can facilitate getting more crack for her addiction. Because that's what crackheads do. They want more crack. And the mom knows that she is a crackhead, and having raised a crackhead of her own, allegedly, she don't want Tracy in her house looking at all her silverware and her jewelry and her nice china to go and sell it to buy more crack. So I think that's one of the big reasons why the mom doesn't want her in the house. As well as, like, no one can account for the car. So the fact that no one can account for the car, and the mom is the one who is paying for all of the stuff, well, the parents, the mom and the dad, she's the one feeling it. They're the ones feeling it. So they're still pretty upset that Tracy trashed the car. And Tracy knows that she can manipulate Clint. Tracy knows that, usually crackheads are not all the way there, but Clint is like a special crackhead, so yeah, he's not all the way there, but there's like a little extra. He got a little extra blessing from God, a little extra sugar, because we can just look at Clint and see that he's missing something. And I think Tracy knows that. And Tracy, she has her wits about her more than Clint does. Because let's think about it. So you marry your crackhead bride, and the next day she's taking your car, she's taking your money, she's taking your cell phone. I believe she took the cell phone. I could be wrong, but she takes all your shit. Basically, she takes all your shit, and then she trashes your car, and she ends up back in prison, and you have to pay for that car. Now, any normal man that has his wits about him, that would have been the end of the relationship. That would have been it. There wouldn't even be like a divorce. It'll just be an annulment. That'll be it. Done. However, we know that Clint is riding at the back of the bus. So he still loves his precious goddess. His precious she looks malnourished, doesn't she? She looks like she's still on that crack. She has that sickly, malnourished, crackish look to her. So he still loves his malnourished, cracky goddess, and he still wants to be with her. So fast forward now into the episode, we see where Clint pulls up to the house. He tells her, Tracey, you gotta stay outside because my mama doesn't want you on her property. And he goes into the house and he basically tells the mama, Tracey wants to meet you. This is the part that I love the most about the episode for Clint and Tracey, because normally throughout all the episodes we've seen where the mom just cuddles him, and that could speak to his mental state of being, that it could mean everyone in the family knows that he is not altogether there. So she always cuddles him. Oh, my sweet little pumpkin, my little Clint Clinty. Here's a credit card for you, Clint Clinty. I need to get used to her accent. Anyway, she always cuddles him. But this time, the mom, she's had it up to here. She's not taking no shit from anybody, especially not no crackhead whore. Allegedly. The whore part anyway. Yeah. So she pretty much tells Clint straight up, like, there's no way your crackhead ass wife is coming into my house. The audacity the audacity of you to think that I would allow her to come into my house. And Clint had to go back outside and take his crackhead bride and roll on back to wherever the hell they came from. And that's pretty much the essence of what happened for Clint and Tracey. Now, I watched the episode yesterday, so it's kind of like a blur in my brain. Let's see. I'm looking at the episode now. Next is Meghan, Michael, and Sarah. The threesome. The nasty threesome couple. So Meghan, Michael, and Sarah. In this episode, we basically see that Michael is getting released from prison. And his mom is there to pick him up. His sister is there to pick him up, like a supporting family. And for some reason, Meghan is also there. Basically, she's saying that although she found out that Michael is married, she still has feelings for him and she still wants to be with him. And she has no self-esteem. She has no self-worth. And apparently, like, dudes in prison are hot bread nowadays, because I can't even make sense of Meghan's logical thinking. All I can think about when I think about Meghan is, you stupid, dumb whore. And the reason why I say whore is because she's conducting herself like a whore. Who does that? Who knows that the guy is married? However she found out. Yes, the mother didn't tell you. Yes, the sister didn't tell you. They didn't have an obligation to tell you. You know who had an obligation to tell you? Michael did. Because guess who you were sleeping with? Michael. Were you sleeping with the mom? No. Were you sleeping with the sister? No. So I don't even know why she's there. She was at the scene where Michael is getting released from prison and basically arguing with the mom that, why didn't you tell me that Michael was married? And so what? There's no responsibility on the part of the mother. Yes, it would have been nice if the mom did say, yeah, my son's married and my son's a male whore. That would have been nice. But she had no obligation to say that. And now you know. However you found out, you found out. So why are you still there conducting yourself like a whore? Because that's what she's doing. She's a whore. I want to know what Meghan father thinks when he watches I don't know if you've seen it yet. When he watches this episode and the whole series, especially after Meghan finds out that he's married, I wonder what he's thinking. I mean, I would have been disappointed in my kid from before, but now that you found out that he's married, that's a whole other ball field of fuckery and stupidity. Yeah, I just can't find any words to really defend Meghan. And she's rude to the mother, she's rude to the sister, and she's even telling the mother, why would you want your son to be with a woman like Sarah? Why would you want your son to be with a woman like Sarah? They're always arguing and blah, blah. Do you know the relationship between Sarah and Michael, Meghan? Do you know the relationship? You don't know it because you don't even know your own relationship. Because if we assess the facts, you were in a two-year relationship with a nigga in prison. In prison, one would think like, what does he have to do but be faithful to you behind prison walls? And for that 2 years that you've been with this nigga, he had a baby on you and he's married. So you know what that means? You don't know shit about your own relationship. And here you are talking about Sarah's relationship. I'm not saying that Sarah knows shit about her relationship either. They're both being manipulated by this waste of human space. Because if you're in prison, you're not doing anything for yourself. You don't have a job. You're in prison. You're making babies. You're not taking care of these babies. You don't have anything to offer anyone. You don't have anything to offer anyone. So, he's a waste of human space. But yeah, I digress. So going back, the point I want to make is that Meghan is talking about Sarah's relationship to the mom and talking down to the mom, and that was just a mind-boggling moment because like you don't know nothing about their relationship to be talking any mess. You don't even know about your own relationship. I mean, I would be checking my coochie for AIDS and syphilis and whatnot because obviously he's not faithful to you, he's not faithful to Sarah, and he keeps getting his hair braided in prison, so Lord knows what he's doing in prison. And we all know how guys get down in prison when they haven't had any coochie for how long. It happens. So I would be getting checked for all types of STDs if I were Sarah and Meghan. Being concerned about each other's relationship with Michael is the last thing I would be doing. I'd be concerned about my relationship with the Lord and how much time I got left to live on this earth before I die of some sexually transmitted disease that I'm not treating yet because I don't know if I have it. Anyway, so no. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Meghan. She keeps saying that she has a secret to tell Michael. It's kind of drawn out. She just keeps mentioning it but never actually saying what the secret is, so it better be juicy because I'm getting pretty frustrated by her keep saying, I got something to tell Michael, but I'm not ready yet, whatever. Next is with Sarah. Now for Sarah's part, like I don't really like Sarah, but in this episode, I can see Sarah's grief and Sarah's pain. Michael's little sister, Dede, calls Sarah or texts Sarah, rather, and tells her, yeah, so Meghan is here. And the sister basically sets off Sarah into a rage. And she's pregnant, so her hormones are all over the place. And she basically cusses out Michael when Michael calls. And I don't really have much to say on it. I think he deserves it. I think that he is manipulating her. He's manipulating all of the women in the situation. He's using his baby as an excuse to justify the fuckery that he does. But I also think that Sarah is a weak woman because this is not her first time on the merry-go-round. This is her second baby, and I believe Michael has been to prison several times. So she knows exactly what she's getting herself into, and she keeps dipping her foot back into the water, being well aware that there are alligators in the water, and eventually they're gonna cut off her foot. But she doesn't care, so she just keeps going until one day it's gonna be too late for her. Some fucked up shit is gonna happen. I mean, I shouldn't say one day. It's already too late. She got 2 kids by a worthless ass MFer who has no ambition in life. So, yeah. You know, I did see that Michael was going back to school, so maybe he does have some ambition. I gotta check that. Maybe he has some ambition. Okay. So, let me just put a caveat in that one. Yeah. But, still, she needs to leave him, and she's not leaving him because she kind of feeds off the negative energy. So I'm not too sorry for Sarah. You know, I don't give a fuck about Sarah because her character is not one that you could feel sorry for. It would be one thing if, oh my God, I've been his ride or die chick and he left me for this fat bitch, and because she keeps saying that, you know, Meghan is fat. Whatever, but he leaves me for this fat bitch, blah 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 blah. If Sarah left Michael at that point, and her being in the show is basically about her having his baby, I would respect Sarah much more. But she's clearly still trying to have a relationship with Michael, even when she's the sole provider for the 2 kids that she has. She's the one putting money on his books. She's the one going to visit him. Everything is on her. And she's not even getting the D because he's always in prison. I mean, unless you consider the times that she's gotten pregnant. So, yeah, Sarah's an idiot. And Meghan's an idiot, too. She's a naive idiot. The difference is Sarah is an experienced idiot. She's kind of like addicted to the drug. She's kind of like a Tracey. Only thing, her drug is not crack. Her drug is Michael. Whereas Meghan, she's also an idiot, but you know, she's a naive idiot. She lost her virginity to Michael, and she's kind of like drunk from, you know, that he's my first kind of thing. Wouldn't be me, child. All right, I'm done with that threesome, that nasty threesome of STDs. Next, let's see. Oh, what is her name again? Trying to remember. The girl that just came back. Marcelino and Brittany. Okay, Marcelino and Brittany. So, the main point I want to say about Marcelino and Brittany is that Brittany wants to complain that she has a baby, she has a toddler, she has to cook, she has to do household chores, and she can't do it all by herself, and she wants Marcelino to help her. And her main problem with Marcelino right now is he wants to play professional poker, and he wants to practice at night. And he wants to practice at night and work in the day. So there's no time in the day for him to help her. She wants him to give up playing at nights so that he can possibly play in the daytime and help her at night maybe. But she wants him to give up playing poker at night. She said explicitly, I don't have a problem with you playing poker, but obviously doing it in the nighttime is too much. You could be helping me with the baby, is what she highly implied. Okay. Oh, so here's my opinion on this now. My opinion is that Brittany needs to get it together. Here's why. If Brittany was a working mother with 2 young children, and here's Marcelino pursuing his hobbies plus working, meanwhile she has to be feeding the baby with one hand and cooking dinner with the other and rushing out to work after that, I would totally understand her frustration, but that's not what's happening here. If we listen carefully, Marcelino says he works in the daytime. He puts in the hours in the daytime so that he can take care of a puppy, a wife, and a baby. That's what he said. You can go back and listen. He says he works in the daytime so that he can provide for his family. And he does poker at nights because he wants to be a professional poker player. So if Brittany is just staying at home, looking after the children, cleaning the home, then bitch, get it together. It's not that hard to be a fucking housewife. I'm sorry. I know lots of people are going to say being a housewife is difficult. There's lots of stuff to do. Okay. Taking care of children is not easy. There's lots of stuff to do. But guess what? A lot of women do that. And if you are a housewife, it means you have more time dedicated to doing just that. You are not in prison anymore. You are not. So I feel like she says in the episode that she gets up in the morning and she just drags and she can't get out of that prison mindset. That means that in prison, she was sleeping all day and ain't doing shit. But now that she's on the real world and she has to get up early in the morning, she can't cope. Well, guess what? That's what normal people do. And you don't have a job. Your ass is lucky that you have the comfort to just stay home and be a housewife. So get your shit together. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for you. Sorry, but not sorry. You don't have a job. Your role is to be a housewife. Get up and feed your baby and make breakfast. It's not that hard. It's not that hard because lots of moms do both things. They have a job, they feed their kids, and they have to find balance. They have to even find time for themselves out of that busy day. They got to find time to unwind out of that busy day. All you have to do is clean the house, give your baby some tit, and cook some breakfast. Bitch, get it together. That's my opinion. Which I know is probably a very unpopular opinion, but that's my opinion. All right, next set of idiots. Oh, before I move on, Marcelino has really exhibited some untoward behavior towards Brittany's friends, and I agree with him. Yeah, he should trust her more. But if I have a young baby with the prisoner and I'm seeing the prisoner associate with other prisoners, and I believe Brittany's parole, I could be wrong, but I believe Brittany's parole says, like, in generally speaking, like, you shouldn't be hanging out with, like, other prisoners when you just got from prison. Because, like, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. But the fact remains that he's uncomfortable with that. And I agree. Your ass is not going to go back to prison and leave me with, like, a 6-month-old baby. Plus, I got to go work. Plus, I got to go feed a dog. No. You cannot be all chummy with your friends, and your friends better know. If your friends really, like, respect your situation, they would understand, like, they can be your friends, but there has to be, like, a certain distance for my comfort. And if you weren't cool with that, then you shouldn't have married me, because he exhibited that controlling behavior long before she said I do. So know that she said I do and she knows what he does, then it is what it is. You gotta just get with it. I'm not disagreeing with Marcelino, because he always acted that way. He never pretended, and now he's acting the same way. Why is that a surprise, and why is it a problem now? So anyway, next couple. All right, we did Clint and Tracy. Oh yeah. So the next couple is big titty mama. What's her name again? The woman with the big titties. I'm gonna check. Let me just check real quick. My brain ain't working. Scott and Lizzie. How can I forget Scott and Lizzie? They're like the quintessential couple of the whole show. I'm tired. Okay, so Scott and Lizzie. Basically, this episode we see that they're both dating other people, and the most important things we can take from this episode is, one, Scott is an idiot, a gullible idiot, and Lizzie is a user. But those are things that we already knew, so it's not so exciting for them. We see where Scott goes out on a date with a Black American woman, and is it me or does he have a fetish for like Black women? Every date he has been on has been a Black woman consecutively. Does he have a fetish? I just wonder if like Scott only dates Black women, and his friends have all been female Black women. I'm just wondering if you got like a chocolate addiction. Anyway, he's on a date, and both of them, both Lizzie and Scott, tell too much about their story. But he's there babbling, saying how he spent, was it 150,000 US on Lizzie, and he told the lady even after he left her, she contacted him, and he went back to give her more money, which shows how gullible and stupid he is. And the lady was just running for the hills from the moment Scott opened his mouth. She was running for the hills. When she did her separate camera time, she said something to the effect of, "He'll make a good man someday, maybe, but not for me." So that pretty much says it all. He's blabbing too much, and we see for Lizzie, basically she's blabbing too much too. She tells the guy, first of all, that date, I feel like they don't really have a storyline yet, and their storyline is probably going to be them coming back together, because it's quite unbelievable that Lizzie would date such a young man. She clearly likes being a sugar baby, and one would imagine that a younger man doesn't have financial stability to take care of you. So I feel like it was just TLC doing something for the camera, and it was pretty boring. The only interesting parts of the scene for me was the fact that Lizzie was spraying her coochie before the date started. Like, did you not take a shower before you went on a date? Why are you spraying your coochie? I mean, like, did she hope that afterwards he would eat her box? Like, what was that about? And also, what was funny was when she told him that she was in prison, his facial expression was like, in prison? His expression was priceless. And also at the end when he told her, yeah, can we split the bill? And she was basically saying how she needs a man like Scott who is gonna pay because she's used to being pampered. It's pretty boring, for me anyway. But that's in essence what happened between Scott and Lizzie. I feel like they're just doing this as a precursor for them to meet up again and have more explosive fuckery. I love it. I mean, it's absolutely asinine BS, but it's good TV. It's my entertainment, Lord knows. Okay, so is that everybody? Let me just check. Let me see. Scott and Lizzie. Looking through the episode. Michael and Sarah did that already. missed one. You know which one I missed? This is the one that got me hooked to the show in the first place. I'm not seeing the name. Hold on. Andrea and I'm trying to remember the dude's name. I'll probably cut this part out. Yeah, I'm probably gonna cut this part out, man. Lamarr. I'm sorry, people. I apologize. Andrea and Lamarr. Okay, so this is the last couple. For Andrea and Lamarr, the episode pretty much starts off the same way that the one with Michael and Meghan and the mom and the sister did. It's a release from prison with the two of them. But prior to that, we do see Andrea with her children, and we get to understand that Lamarr actually went back to prison because he was in a car with a friend. The friend had an illegal firearm on him, an illegal gun on him, and consequently he and the friend and everybody in the vehicle went back to prison because, you know, as a convicted felon, you can't be in that kind of situation. And since he went back to prison, the family they haven't really been good with it, especially the daughter. What's her name? I don't know the daughter's name, but whatever. The daughter, the middle daughter, because there's two daughters. The middle daughter, she has not been dealing with it well, and actually the whole dynamic has been really messed up after Lamarr went to prison, because I noted that the son is acting like the father. First of all, where is their real daddy? I don't understand. Where is their real daddy? Why is he not featured in the show, or why is he not mentioned in the show? I mean, if she's a good... Oh, okay. If she's a good Mormon woman, as they say, why is it that there's no mention of her Mormon husband, whoever he was? And what is a good Mormon woman? She keeps making references to being a good Mormon woman, but I honestly don't know what that is, because I didn't grow up with any Mormons. So, I mean, I saw the church, but I didn't really fancy to get involved in it. So I don't know what it means to be a good Mormon. But I would imagine it would be tantamount to being a good Christian woman, right? So if you're a good Christian woman, that means you were married to your children's father, and you got a divorce for whatever reason. But as a good Christian woman, you would have found a man that would want to be actively involved in your children's lives. So where is their daddy? Where is their daddy? That's what I want to know. Next thing I want to know is, why is the son, is his name Tennyson, I believe? Whatever his name is. Why is the son acting like he's the father of the family? That shows you that the dynamic in the family is all screwed up. And she makes a joke that, what did she say? She makes a joke about how her son is acting like some psycho that was sleeping with his mom. That's so nasty. Like, why would you joke about that? That is, throw up worthy. And the next thing is, the daughter is struggling. The middle daughter is struggling. The mom says that the daughter has burnt letters. She has tore up letters from Lamarr, burned up letters from Lamarr, doesn't speak to Lamarr, and she feels broken inside. And that she wanted to take his last name. Why would she want to take his last name? Where is her daddy? Where is her daddy? I'm all for, like, you know, respecting the step parent. Like, if your parent finds someone that makes them happy and they want to get married to them, I am all for respecting the step parent, and following whatever rules you have to abide by. But they ain't my daddy. Even if, like, me personally, my father is dead, and if my mom decided to, like, marry some other guy, that's her prerogative, right? But I'm not changing my name. I'm not changing my name because I had a daddy, right? And he was a good daddy as far as I know. So why would the kids want to change their names when they have a father? It's not like she was some ratchet ghetto, Lord forgive me. It's not like she was the type of woman that was, like, really ratchet and all of her 3 kids are, like, different baby daddies and they all, like, have her name. I could understand if she said, okay, I found me a good man and I want all my kids to take his name. Okay, cool. But you're supposed to be Miss Goody Goody Mormon woman, right? So why your kids want to change their name? What happened to their good, proper father, their upstanding Christian father? What is up with him? Please let us know, Andrea. Okay, so moving on from that now. We see basically Lamarr comes back from prison and they're meeting in across some street, and he pretty much tells her where's his car. He wants to see his car, and she tells him, I sold it. And he's upset about it. It's pretty boring because it's a fake scene. At least she's playing a trick on him. It's not real. And they get home, he realizes, okay, she didn't sell my car. And that's cool. But I think this one is really serious. This relationship is really serious because there are innocent children involved in this relationship. And the decisions she's making, they are either affecting the children now or they will affect the children in the future. And she says that because of Lamarr's conduct, going back to prison, leaving the children suddenly, her daughter, the middle one, no longer wants to date African American men. That is so messed up for the mother to say. And the mother is saying it like, oh wow, look at all the problems that Lamarr has created for my family. And she's kind of saying it in a way that she wants to make herself look good, but I believe she made herself look terrible. Because first of all, if your child said to you, I no longer want to date African American men, and your child is a black girl, you should address that, nip it in the bud immediately, and let her know Lamarr is a fucked up individual. Lamarr has been to prison. Lamarr got his issues, but that's on Lamarr. Lamarr as an individual, not on the whole black community in America. Don't put that on the black man. I mean, that was just so fucked up, and the audacity of her to say that on TV and having all the black people looking crazy. I was messed up. And the next thing is that I think she's a foolish woman. I'm not gonna like curse or anything because it's just really sad. She's a very foolish woman because, first of all, you're a good Mormon woman. Why ever do you have to find a man in prison? Why can't you find some good dick elsewhere, in wherever the hell you're coming from? Ohio or Omaha, or wherever, which country area she's from. Why can't you find a good man who's working outside of prison walls and living a good life? And okay, you've made the decision, I want to date a prisoner, and I want to marry a prisoner. And she did just that. The prisoner has failed you. Why are you still continuing a relationship with that prisoner? The marriage itself hasn't been that long. You can still walk away. Your kids are already messed up from it. The thing for me, the thing that she could do to actually say, I am a woman of a certain level of respect and integrity, and I am going to teach my children right from wrong. She should walk away from Lamarr. She should totally leave Lamarr, because she's teaching her daughters, because she's got a young one too who may not be able to voice what she's experiencing, but later in life she's going to remember it, and it's going to affect her from a subconscious level. Okay, so she's teaching her two daughters, this is the fuckery that you should accept from men. And I don't necessarily mean African American men like her. I mean all men, because we all know that all men across the board can do fucked up shit. She's teaching her daughters, a man can treat you any which kind of way, and it's okay. You just keep taking them back. You just keep chugging. She's teaching her son that don't expect any stability in life. One day you could have a normal family. The next day everything could just fall out. And she may be even teaching the son that it's acceptable to just up and leave your family. And he's taking on, I don't think that he's going to go in that way though. I think the way how he's going to go, because he's taking on all of the emotional stress of being the head of the household from such a tender age, he's taking on a lot of stress that's going to affect him later on in life, and he's going to think that this kind of dysfunction is normal and he just has to deal with it. So I really believe that overall, and Andrea is a pitiful woman who is not teaching her children anything good, anything proper. And I understand people want their happiness, but when you have children, their happiness has to be placed at the forefront at all times, and you have to protect your children. And I don't have any children, but I could never imagine dating a prisoner, unless it's like someone that I knew prior to going to prison that I could vouch for their character, then that's different. But I could never imagine going online on the internet and finding some prison bird and marrying the dude after just talking to them over the phone and whatever apps they have. I don't know if they have Prison Tinder app, I don't know, but I could never ever imagine doing that when I have children. I'm not saying that Lamarr is a bad guy. Like, Lamarr seems to be a good guy, but shit has already hit the roof and she needs to just take it for what it is and leave before she does any more damage to her children. So I'm not saying Lamarr is a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy, but you don't know. Lamarr could have been like some child molester, and you're bringing that guy into your home with your daughters, and one of them is like a little toddler baby. Oh my God, I just feel like, what is wrong with Andrea? Even when she was talking on her phone with her friends and telling her friends that the middle child wanted to change her name to Lamarr's last name, the friends were all rolling their eyes like, bitch, please. So, yeah, I think that's about it for all the couples. So, yep. That's my review. So, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have some opinions, please put them down below. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, whatever the case may be, or if you may have something that I missed, let me know. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. See ya.